My video for March the 7th, 2019 is video number 3017. And the title is Two Questions. Is this world just an illusion? What is truth? To me, those are very important questions, but here's the blurb. Yesterday morning, I went to my weekly coffee talk group with my friend Steve. Once again, the topic came up where some in the group put forth the idea that everything in this world is just an illusion. The real world, some say, is the one we cannot see with our own eyes. Not everyone in the group agrees with this, myself included. To me, this is the world that counts, since it is the one we are in right now, today. I refuse to live my life just for some airy-fairy world that is said to exist in some other dimension of reality. Though I agree that this world is ever changing, just as we constantly face changes in our individual lives, I do not agree that the five senses are just a deception. Have we been deceived? Yes, of course. Most of our leaders are liars. Supposedly Lucifer, that leader of the fallen angel group, was the great deceiver, though calling him great is insane, as if any liar can truly be great. But what is truth? Yes, I keep coming back to that question. Are we simply playing some cosmic game for the entertainment of the pretend gods that display demonic tendencies like child abuse and constant war? Who's insane here? To me, those who fail to address the problems we face in this world are contributing to the problems, not to any solution. Steve is probably one of my best friends, and yet we do not agree on this subject. Not at all. Steve is a magician, a really good magician. Although I've watched videos of some magicians that do apparently supernatural things, and the story behind them is that they are demon possessed. And that's what gives them the ability to conjure up such apparitions, if you will, and just simply float in the air and other things. Magic is amazing. It's very deceptive and very convincing. A good magician can actually convince you of things that we know are not real, are not true. When it's just a play and it's just entertainment, that's interesting. I'm not going to say it's good or bad, it's interesting. But when it comes to our individual lives, we need to know, or at least I need to know, that something is real, something is true, something is factual. But when we've been reared in a world of deception, what is factual? Our parents didn't lie to us because they wanted to lie, at least not in most instances. They lied to us because they believed what they were taught by their parents and their parents before them and their parents before them. And it's been a repetitive cycle that has gone on and degenerated. Now, there was an interesting young lady that was at the group yesterday, the daughter of one of the other members of the group. And by the way, look, there's 3 different coffee talk groups now. I've been going to 2 of them, but there's a third one starting up in Orlando, and Steve is involved in all of those. But in any case, this young lady that I mentioned was there, and she's visiting. I think if I'm not mistaken. I think she lives somewhere in the Carolinas, North Carolina, but I could be wrong there. But she has a horse that is very close to her and won't let anyone else ride her. And she's a champion. I mean, she wins all sorts of races. She's going to retire the horse after this year because the horse is 10 years old. That's old for a horse, apparently. I don't know a lot about that. But she was a fascinating woman, and she was one of the ones that doesn't buy the idea that this isn't real. To her, it is real, and she believes that at least there's a potential that the horse is actually reincarnated from a human thing. Now, I haven't gone into that idea. I don't think that that's true, that humans can become animals and animals can become humans, but I don't know. I'm not saying I know that. It just doesn't seem right to me. But in any case, she has this relationship with the horse that nobody else can ride the horse. I mean, if anybody else tries to get on the horse will throw that rider off. But she can ride it and ride it well. I thought it was fascinating just meeting her and talking with her. Just an amazing young woman. I mean, I don't know how old she actually is, or she could probably be in her 40s, I guess. But I'm guessing. I have no idea. In any case, folks, there's lots of things that happen to us on this planet that don't make sense. Lots of things. And the thing that doesn't make sense most to me is that we've been taught that God is love. Yet that God who is love has allowed this demon trickery to go on and on and on. And when I say trickery, I mean deception. Lucifer is the great deceiver. Lucifer is the one that abuses everything. And the Luciferians, they have become the money masters of the world. We've talked about this in other videos. I've mentioned it so many times. This is where the problem lies in our world. Are we moving into the age of Aquarius? Are we going to stay stuck in I forgot the other age. Isn't that awful? Let me see. Let me scroll down here because I don't think I erased that part. The age of Piscean age, Pisces, of course. Anyway, I laugh at myself, but I'm struggling to try to make sense out of my life, and not just my life, but what's humanity doing here? What kind of creation are we as human beings? Were we created perfect, and then the loving God allowed a fallen angel to mess with our DNA and create us as a lesser being than what the original loving God created? Did the fallen angel mess with us to the point where we don't even know what truth is anymore? Where we don't recognize how or know how to love one another? We don't even know how to listen. Now, that's one thing I will say about the Coffee Talk group. There are differences of opinions discussed, but we're not butting heads and arguing and pointing a finger at the other and saying, you're wrong. It's a perception. But I do think that those that don't address the problems are the ones that are going to succumb to the problems, just as those that don't address their medical needs or their health needs end up getting sick and other things. And I could go, that triggered something else, but I'm running out of time. And so thank you for listening, and namaste.